Are you feeling overwhelmed by the relentless pace of modern life? Do you find yourself constantly racing against the clock, striving to achieve more, and yet feeling like something is missing? Imagine a life where you can slow down, embrace simplicity, and find true happiness in everyday moments. In this video, we dive deep into the transformative world of slow living, a lifestyle choice that can help you reclaim your time, reduce stress, and cultivate meaningful relationships. You'll discover how slowing down can lead to greater contentment, improved health, and even financial freedom. We'll explore practical strategies to help you prioritize what truly matters, live sustainably, and find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Stay with us until the end to learn how you can implement these powerful changes in your own life, creating a more balanced, joyful, and meaningful existence. Whether you're looking to reduce anxiety, enhance your well-being, or simply find more peace in your daily routine, this video has something valuable for you. Let's embark on this journey together and uncover the secrets to a happier, more fulfilling life through the art of slow living. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Many of us have been deeply conditioned to believe that success is synonymous with doing more, working harder, and endlessly accumulating wealth. From the very moment we enter the world, we are told that happiness and fulfillment lie in the relentless pursuit of material possessions, status, and achievement. Society celebrates those who are constantly striving, those who work tirelessly to climb the corporate ladder, and those who gather accolades and accumulate wealth. The message we receive is clear: to be successful is to be busy, to always be moving forward, and to never settle. We are conditioned to believe that if we just push a little harder, work a little longer, or acquire just a bit more, we will finally be happy. But what if that's not the whole story? What if true success isn't about doing more, but about embracing less? What if happiness doesn't lie in what we have or what we achieve, but rather in how we live in the moment, in how we choose to experience life without the constant pressure to keep up with others, without the need to chase more, always? This is the core of slow living, and it's a perspective that challenges everything we've been taught. Slow living invites us to reconsider what it means to be successful and teaches us that happiness doesn't come from the accumulation of things or the race to the top. It comes from being present, from appreciating the beauty of life in its simplest, most ordinary forms. At the heart of slow living lies a powerful and liberating truth. Happiness is not something we can buy or achieve through endless work and effort. It's something we cultivate within ourselves through presence, mindfulness, and a deep appreciation for the moments that make up our lives. When we take a step back from the chaos of our busy lives, we begin to see that true contentment is not found in what we have, but in how we experience the world around us. It's in the quiet joy of sipping a cup of tea while watching the sunrise, the simple pleasure of laughing with friends, or the calm satisfaction of lying on the grass, gazing at the stars. Slow living teaches us to pause, to breathe, and to savor life, not as a series of tasks to be completed, but as a collection of experiences to be felt and enjoyed. However, for many people, the idea of slowing down can feel incredibly daunting. It may seem as though we're giving up on ambition, resigning ourselves to mediocrity, or somehow abandoning the desire for comfort and success. The very thought of slowing down might make us feel guilty, as though we're not doing enough, not striving enough. But slow living is not about abandoning ambition. It's not about giving up on our dreams or settling for less. On the contrary, slow living is about reassessing our priorities, about making conscious choices to focus on what truly matters. It's about finding balance in a world that often feels unbalanced, about intentionally creating space for the things that bring us joy, peace, and fulfillment. Rather than seeking success through endless work or the accumulation of wealth, slow living invites us to focus on the things that nourish our souls, taking care of our health, nurturing meaningful relationships, spending time on hobbies and passions that make us feel alive, and permitting ourselves to rest. It's about cultivating a life that feels good on the inside, rather than one that simply looks good on the outside. In a world that constantly pushes us to do more, be more, and achieve more, slow living is a radical act of self-care and self-compassion. It's a choice to live with intention, to live with purpose, and to live with joy. As we begin to embrace the principles of slow living, we start to notice profound shifts in our lives. We become more connected to ourselves, to our loved ones, and the world around us. We begin to experience a deeper sense of contentment, a quieter, more fulfilling kind of happiness that isn't tied to external achievements or possessions. We may find that by slowing down, we become more productive, more creative, and more effective in the things that truly matter. When we remove the constant pressure to do more, we create space for the things that fuel our spirits. Whether it's a peaceful walk in nature, an afternoon spent reading a book, or simply sitting in silence and enjoying the present moment. It's never too late to embrace the slow living lifestyle. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, it's never too late to stop rushing, to stop competing, and to start living with more intention, more joy, and more presence. As we grow older, slow living can become even more powerful. It allows us to shift our focus from the relentless need to achieve to simply being in the moment, being in our bodies, being with those we love, being content with what we have. It helps us reframe our relationship with time, to see it not as something we're constantly running out of, but as something we can use wisely, something to be savored. As we slow down, we open ourselves to a richer, more meaningful experience of life, one that's grounded in the here and now, rather than in some distant future that may never come. For me personally, the idea of slowing down has been nothing short of transformative. I've realized that life is far too precious to spend constantly chasing after things that ultimately don't bring lasting happiness. It's not always easy. Our world pushes us to keep moving, to keep striving. But when I take a moment to simply pause and appreciate the beauty around me, I feel a sense of peace and fulfillment that no amount of work or wealth could ever provide. And I've come to believe that true success isn't about how much we do or have, but about how deeply we live, how truly we connect with ourselves and others, and how much we cherish the simple, beautiful moments that make life worth living. Slow living isn't just a way of life, it's a way of being, and it's one of the most rewarding choices we can make. Slow living enters the scene as a lifeline, offering us a sanctuary in a world that is constantly pushing us to keep up, keep moving, and keep striving for more. In the face of relentless pressures and overwhelming distractions, slow living provides a desperately needed respite, a breath of fresh air in a world that never seems to stop running. It's like a gentle invitation to pause, to take a step back from the chaos, and to reflect on what truly matters. What are our priorities? What are our values? And perhaps, most importantly, what do we truly want to achieve in life? Slow living challenges us to answer these questions from a place of authenticity, not from the expectations of others or the noise of society. Instead of allowing external pressures to dictate the rhythm of our lives, slow living encourages us to reclaim control, set our own pace, and live life on our own terms. It's a subtle yet powerful reminder that we have the power to choose how we live, not to be swept away by the tide of busyness and ambition. When we slow down, we can reconnect with what we need and desire, rather than chasing after things that will never truly satisfy us. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. I believe this is one of the most profound gifts of slow living. It allows us to recalibrate our focus, to shift our gaze away from the relentless pursuit of more, and instead, to turn towards the present moment. The beauty of the now, the fleeting joy of being fully immersed in whatever we're doing at the time. Whether it's spending a lazy afternoon with family, taking a long walk through nature, or simply sitting quietly with our thoughts, slow living teaches us to find deep, lasting happiness in the simple, everyday moments. It teaches us to appreciate what we already have and to savor the small joys that are often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of life. I can't help but feel that in this world that constantly pushes us to want more, slow living is a quiet rebellion, a rebellion against the idea that happiness is something to be chased and earned. The beauty of slow living, though, is that it's not about revolutionizing your life overnight. It's not about making grand, sweeping changes that might overwhelm you or feel unattainable. Instead, it's about making small, intentional shifts, adjustments in our mindset, in the way we approach our days, in the choices we make. These small changes gradually lead us toward a life that feels more peaceful, more meaningful, and ultimately, more fulfilling. It's a gentle, nurturing journey, one that doesn't demand perfection but rather encourages growth at our own pace. In the next section, we'll explore how slow living can help us reclaim our time, energy, and happiness, without the need for radical sacrifices or dramatic upheavals. It's about finding balance in a world that is constantly out of balance. Because at the end of the day, time is one of the most precious things we have, and slow living invites us to treat it with the reverence it deserves. Reclaiming time. This, perhaps, is one of the most beautiful aspects of slow living. In a world that often feels like it's slipping through our fingers, where every moment is filled with tasks, deadlines, and expectations, slow living offers us the extraordinary gift of time. Time, which we often treat as a scarce commodity, becomes a luxury we can savor, instead of something we are constantly trying to catch up with. It's a deep, soul-stirring feeling to realize that we have the power to slow down, top out of the frenzy, and make time for the things that matter most. Things that nourish us, bring us joy, and help us grow. The more we embrace the concept of slow living, the more we come to realize something truly profound. Time is not an enemy we are perpetually racing against. Instead, it is a precious gift. One that, when managed with intention, can be used to craft a life filled with meaning, satisfaction, and a deep sense of inner peace. It is so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, to feel as though we are constantly running out of time, chasing after the next task or achievement. But what if, instead of speeding through each day, we chose to slow down? What if we allowed ourselves the space to breathe, to reflect, and to make decisions that align with our deepest values and desires? By living more deliberately, we can begin to take control of our time, not to fill it with endless to-dos, but to fill it with the moments and activities that truly nourish our souls. We can choose to spend our days in ways that bring us joy, peace, and fulfillment. This shift in perspective is not just a theoretical idea, but a life-changing practice that can lead to an abundance of happiness. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into how embracing slow living can invite more contentment and a profound sense of well-being into our lives. By honing our focus on what truly matters, on the things and experiences that make us feel alive, we can step away from the noise of modern life and find contentment in the present moment. Happiness, in a world that constantly tells us it is something to be found in external achievements, possessions, or fleeting trends, can often feel elusive. We are bombarded with messages that tell us that joy is hidden in the newest gadget, the latest fashion, or a picture-perfect lifestyle that we can never quite attain. Yet, when we take a moment to pause and reflect, we realize that true happiness often lies in the simplest, most unassuming moments. The beauty of slow living lies in the realization that happiness does not need to be chased, purchased, or earned. It is already here, in the present. It is in the quiet moments of our daily lives that we often find our greatest source of joy. A steaming cup of tea in the morning, the soft rustling of leaves in the wind, and the sound of birds greeting the day outside our window. The feeling of soft grass beneath our feet as we walk in nature, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the laughter shared with loved ones. These are the moments that make life meaningful, yet they are so often overlooked when we're caught up in the relentless pace of modern life. In choosing to slow down, we can rediscover these simple joys, and in doing so, we unlock a deeper, more enduring happiness. These little moments, which seem so small in the grand scheme of things, have the power to transform our lives and lead us to a sense of contentment and peace that cannot be bought but can only be experienced in the here and now. One of the greatest benefits of adopting a slower, more intentional way of living is that it allows us to reconnect with the things that truly matter. In a world that often prioritizes speed, productivity, and accumulation, we can lose sight of the values and experiences that bring us true fulfillment. When we slow down, we give ourselves the space to reflect on what we want from life. We begin to ask ourselves the hard questions. What makes me truly happy? What brings me peace? What do I want to contribute to the world? These are not questions that can be answered in a rush. They require quiet moments of introspection, and sometimes even stillness, to truly explore. When we take the time to answer them, we not only gain clarity about our desires, but also open ourselves up to a life that feels more authentic and more aligned with our deepest selves. And in that alignment, we discover a joy that is far more lasting than anything the world's distractions can offer. Slow living teaches us that, in a sense, we are the architects of our happiness, and by focusing on the simple, everyday moments that fill our lives, we can cultivate a sense of well-being that is deep, rich, and unshakable. The path to happiness is not a race, and it is certainly not found in the fleeting joys of material success or external validation. It is found in the quiet, simple moments that weave the fabric of our daily lives. Slow living invites us to turn inward, to appreciate the beauty in what is already here, and to cherish the present moment. The more we embrace this philosophy, the more we begin to see that true happiness is not something we need to chase. It is something we can create right where we are. When we take the time to notice the small things, the scent of fresh flowers, the warmth of a loved one's embrace, the peaceful stillness of a sunset, we begin to realize that joy was always there, just waiting to be acknowledged. It is in these small, fleeting moments that life's true beauty resides, and it is in learning to savor them that we find the peace and happiness we've been searching for all along. In the next section, we will delve into the profound connection between slow living and a more sustainable lifestyle. It's not just about living at a slower pace. It's about making deliberate choices that promote the well-being of both ourselves and the planet. By shifting our focus from mindless consumption to mindful living, we can find joy in the simple things and, in doing so, contribute to the health of our Earth. To me, this philosophy is deeply moving because it highlights the power we hold in creating positive change, not just in our own lives, but also for future generations. One of the most beautiful aspects of slow living is its emphasis on living in harmony with nature. It's not just a lifestyle. It's a commitment to making choices that nurture the earth, rather than deplete it. When we embrace sustainability, we aren't simply following a trend. We are adopting a mindset that sees our connection with nature as sacred. In a world where consumerism often feels like an endless cycle of waste and overconsumption, slow living offers a breath of fresh air. It provides an alternative, a way of living that prioritizes sustainability, conscious consumption, and, most importantly, reducing the burden we place on the environment. To me, this is more than just an ecological choice, it's a moral one. The modern world is deeply entrenched in a cycle of relentless consumption. Everywhere we turn, we are bombarded with advertisements, discounts, and sales, enticing us to purchase more clothes, more gadgets, more things. It's almost as if we're encouraged to fill our lives with endless material possessions, often without considering the impact our choices have on the planet. This insatiable demand for more leads to mountains of waste, the depletion of natural resources, and irreversible environmental damage. However, slow living challenges this pervasive mindset. It invites us to rethink the way we live, to step back, and to ask ourselves, do we need all of this? At the heart of slow living is the idea of consuming less and living more intentionally. It's a call to break free from the endless pursuit of possessions and to find contentment in what we already have. For me, this message resonates deeply. Happiness doesn't lie in accumulating things. It lies in appreciating the simple joys that surround us, the warmth of a loved one's embrace, the beauty of a quiet moment in nature, or the satisfaction of nurturing something with care. In a world where the mantra "more is better" is often repeated, slow living offers a much-needed reminder that less truly can be more. Choosing quality over quantity is one of the most profound ways slow living fosters sustainability. When we opt for high-quality, durable items instead of cheap, mass-produced goods, we're not only investing in something that will last longer, but we're also reducing the waste that floods our landfills. I can't help but feel a sense of fulfillment when I choose to purchase something made with care, whether it's a beautiful handcrafted piece or an eco-friendly product that has been thoughtfully designed. It's a small act, but it feels like a statement, a way of saying no to mindless consumerism and yes to a world that values integrity and sustainability. In a world so often driven by the pressure to keep up with trends and accumulate more, slow living invites us to pause, reflect, and make choices that not only serve our happiness but also the well-being of our planet. It's a reminder that we don't need to keep up with anything except our values. And in embracing this slower, more thoughtful approach to life, we not only find contentment, but we also make a profound, lasting impact on the world around us. To me, this is the true beauty of slow living. It's a lifestyle that nurtures both the soul and the earth. One of the most profoundly impactful aspects of slow living is the way it empowers us to achieve true financial freedom. In a fast-paced world driven by consumerism, where success is often measured by the amount of money we make or the things we accumulate, slow living offers a much-needed and refreshing alternative. It presents a lifestyle that invites us to step back, breathe deeply, and focus on what genuinely matters in life. It challenges the dominant narrative that happiness is tied to the quantity of possessions we own or the wealth we accumulate. Slow living teaches us that happiness and fulfillment come not from the endless pursuit of more, but from living with less, allowing us to embrace simplicity, authenticity, and purpose. At the very heart of the slow living philosophy is a deep realization that material possessions, no matter how shiny or extravagant, can never provide lasting happiness. We live in a society where we are constantly bombarded with messages that more money, more things, and more experiences are the keys to contentment. But the truth is, this relentless chase for material wealth often leads to a never-ending cycle of stress, dissatisfaction, and even harm to our environment. It takes a toll on our mental and emotional well-being, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled despite the accumulation of stuff. Slow living offers a powerful antidote to this, encouraging us to pause and reflect on what truly brings us joy, whether it's a quiet afternoon spent in nature, a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, or simply the act of being present in the moment. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. By embracing a slower, more intentional pace of life, we begin to see that the things that truly matter are not found in the latest gadgets, fashion trends, or luxurious vacations, but in the rich, meaningful experiences we create. The simple act of spending quality time with family and friends, exploring the wonders of nature, or dedicating ourselves to a passion or hobby. These are the moments that nourish our souls and provide a sense of fulfillment that material possessions could never offer. It is in these experiences that we find our true happiness, the kind that lasts, the kind that stays with us long after the fleeting excitement of a new purchase has faded. One of the most transformative ways that slow living promotes financial freedom is by helping us develop a more mindful and intentional approach to our spending habits. When we slow down and take the time to consider our purchases carefully, we become more aware of our desires and impulses. We begin to see how often we buy things on a whim, only to realize later that they don't truly enhance our lives. By cultivating this mindfulness, slow living encourages us to break free from the trap of impulse buying, helping us make more thoughtful, purposeful decisions with our money. As a result, we find ourselves spending less on unnecessary items and, instead, investing in experiences that enrich our lives, allowing us to save more and live with greater financial freedom. In the end, slow living is not just a lifestyle choice. It is a profound shift in perspective, a gentle but powerful reminder that happiness is not something that can be bought. It is something we must cultivate within ourselves through meaningful connections, mindful living, and a deeper appreciation for the simple joys that life has to offer. When we stop chasing after the endless accumulation of things and instead focus on living with intention, we open ourselves up to a life of true fulfillment, one that is not defined by the size of our bank accounts, but by the richness of our experiences and the depth of our relationships. In this way, slow living not only leads us to financial freedom, but also to a life that feels more deeply satisfying and connected. As we come to the final stretch of this transformative journey through the art of slow living, it's impossible not to stop and truly reflect on how this thoughtful and intentional way of living can help us uncover a much deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. especially in a world that seems to spin faster with each passing day. In our modern society, there is an overwhelming pressure to keep achieving, accumulating, and constantly advancing. We are so often caught up in the race to do more, and have more that it's easy to forget why we're even running in the first place. Slow living, however, offers us an invitation to step back and reevaluate what really matters. It invites us to slow down, to take a deep breath, and to reconnect with ourselves. To pause the hustle, even for a moment, and give ourselves the space to reflect on the things that bring us the most joy, the most peace, and the most fulfillment. It's only when we take this time to really slow down that we begin to recognize that the true magic of life lies not in doing more, but in living more intentionally. In every phase of life, the quest for purpose is an intrinsic and fundamental need, one that transcends age, career, or circumstance. Whether we're in the throes of raising children, tirelessly working to climb the career ladder, or even entering our later years, there's a shared desire to feel that our lives are meaningful. We all want to feel that what we do matters, that our existence, our actions, and our choices are contributing to something larger than ourselves. It's an undeniable longing to be part of something more profound, something that will outlast us and leave a positive imprint on the world. Yet, in the rush to get ahead, it's easy to overlook the fact that we are constantly given opportunities to find and create meaning in our daily lives. And this is where slow living truly becomes a gift. By embracing a slower pace, we allow ourselves the freedom to focus on the things that genuinely matter to us, those things that bring us true joy, inner peace, and a sense of fulfillment. When we slow down, we open up space for reflection and introspection, and it is through this stillness that we are able to reconnect with our passions, our values, and our strengths. It is in these quiet moments of awareness that we can take a hard look at the legacy we want to leave behind, both in our own hearts and in the hearts of those around us. By slowing down, we can ask ourselves the big, meaningful questions that are often drowned out by the noise of daily life. What truly brings me joy? What are the things that make my heart sing? What is my deepest passion? And how can I align my actions with it? What kind of person do I want to be? And how can I make a lasting, positive impact on the world? These are the questions that slow living invites us to consider, and in answering them, we can find our true sense of purpose. Taking the time to slow down and become more intentional with how we spend our time isn't just about living more mindfully. It's about learning to prioritize the things that truly matter. Whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, focusing on personal growth, or contributing to a cause that aligns with our values, slow living asks us to become more aware of where we invest our energy. Too often, we are distracted by the relentless pull of society's demands. Working long hours, buying into consumerism, or chasing after hollow goals. But slow living helps us see that, when we stop and truly reflect, the most meaningful moments aren't the ones filled with activity and noise. The most meaningful moments are the quiet, small ones, those spent in nature, in deep conversation, or simply in stillness, with nothing but our thoughts and the world around us. There is something profoundly healing in allowing ourselves to live slowly, to shed the layers of unnecessary busyness, and to remember what it feels like to live with purpose. And yet, this lifestyle is not always easy to embrace. We live in a culture that constantly tells us to hurry, to achieve, to reach for more. But in choosing slow living, we choose to reject the pressure to constantly prove ourselves and instead embrace the opportunity to grow, reflect, and be fully present. Ultimately, slow living offers us the chance to create a life that feels full, balanced, and rich in meaning. It reminds us that our worth is not defined by how much we do, but by how deeply we live. By slowing down, we give ourselves permission to be fully present, to listen to our hearts, to live in alignment with our values, and to contribute to the world in a way that is authentic to who we truly are. And in that space, we begin to experience the profound joy and fulfillment that only comes from living a life that is truly our own. In my personal experience, I have found that the moments of true fulfillment come not from a packed schedule or a checklist of accomplishments, but from those simple, quiet moments where I am fully present. Whether it's enjoying a cup of tea on a quiet morning, listening to a child's laughter, or watching the sunset, I've come to realize that the richness of life lies in those moments we often overlook. Slow living teaches us that fulfillment isn't something that can be chased. It's something that can only be felt when we allow ourselves to stop, breathe, and appreciate the beauty in the small things. And that, I believe, is the essence of living with purpose. As we approach the conclusion of our journey through the profound world of slow living, it's becoming increasingly clear that this lifestyle offers far more than just a way to cope with the overwhelming chaos and noise of modern life. In fact, slow living represents a quiet revolution, a return to a way of life that is deeper, richer, and more meaningful than the relentless, often hollow pursuit of material success that defines so much of our society today. In its essence, slow living is a rebellion against the mindset that we must constantly be chasing more money, more things, more accomplishments, more recognition, only to find that the faster we run, the emptier we feel. Instead, slow living encourages us to step off the treadmill, to slow down, and to focus on the pursuit of contentment, connection, and joy. This lifestyle invites us to rediscover the simple beauty of being present in our own lives, in the here and now. It encourages us to fully embrace the moment we're in, instead of always looking ahead to the next task, achievement, or milestone. In doing so, we begin to experience the profound richness that comes from savoring the small, often overlooked moments. The warmth of a cup of tea, the serenity of a quiet walk, the laughter of a friend, or the peace that comes from simply sitting in stillness. These moments, which we often dismiss as insignificant in the rush of everyday life, hold the true magic of existence. Through slow living, we learn to see the beauty in these fleeting moments, and we begin to understand that happiness is not a destination, but a series of small, joyful moments woven together over time. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But slow living is not just about appreciating the present moment. It also calls us to reevaluate what truly matters in our lives. It challenges the prevailing notion that our worth is tied to how much we can accumulate or how quickly we can achieve success. Instead, slow living encourages us to cultivate meaningful relationships with those we love, to nurture our health, and to pursue passions that fill our hearts with purpose. It asks us to step away from the pressure to conform to societal expectations, and to instead listen to our own hearts and minds, discovering what brings us genuine fulfillment. In doing so, we create space in our lives for what truly matters: self-care, mindfulness, and deeper human connection. By embracing slow living, we learn that we don't have to be constantly on the go, constantly striving for the next big thing, to experience true happiness. We don't need to rush through life, ticking off endless boxes, in order to feel that we are enough. The pursuit of happiness is not found in external achievements, but in the internal peace we cultivate through simple, mindful living. This mindset shift is both liberating and life-changing. In a society that often equates busyness with worth, slow living teaches us that there is immense power in pausing, in being still, in choosing to simply be rather than do. It's all too easy to get swept up in the hustle and bustle of modern life. The pressure to succeed, to keep up with others, to constantly be doing something productive can feel overwhelming. But slow living reminds us that happiness is not a product of how much we accomplish or how much we possess. It is found in the simple, everyday experiences that make us feel alive and connected. True joy resides in the unhurried moments, the quiet conversations shared with loved ones, the beauty of nature that surrounds us, the act of breathing deeply and letting go of stress. In these moments, we tap into a well of peace that so many of us have forgotten exists. And perhaps most importantly, slow living teaches us the art of living intentionally. It encourages us to make deliberate choices about where we focus our energy and how we structure our days. It asks us to prioritize what truly brings us joy, fulfillment, and peace, and to let go of the things that drain us or pull us away from our true selves. This is not about perfection or rigidity. It's about being mindful, present, and intentional in the way we live our lives. It's about recognizing that we don't need to constantly race against the clock, we don't need to compete with others, and we don't need to fill every moment with activity in order to feel fulfilled. In the end, Slow living is a call to return to ourselves, to rediscover what really matters, to reconnect with the people we love, and to find joy in the simplest of things. It is a reminder that life is not about the destination, but the journey. By slowing down, we learn to appreciate the small moments, the quiet joys, and the beauty of being fully present. Through this practice, we begin to unlock a life that is not just full, but deeply satisfying and truly meaningful. And in this space, we find the freedom to live a life that is truly our own. As we wrap up our deep dive into the transformative world of slow living, we hope you've gained new insights into how embracing a slower, more intentional way of life can lead to a greater sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment. We've explored how stepping away from the constant rush of modern society and focusing on the present moment can help us reconnect with what truly matters: our health, our happiness, and the meaningful relationships we cultivate along the way. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from this video so far? Is there a particular aspect of slow living that resonates with you the most? Please share with us one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into your life. We'd be thrilled to hear how you're thinking about applying these insights to your daily routine. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Your support helps us continue to share valuable insights and inspiration for living a more intentional, fulfilling life. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts.